Hello, and welcome to episode 52 of Anime Territory. I am your host this week, Benjamin Shapping, and with me, as always, is my co-host, Johnny Ghost Wolves Ruhal.
Hello. 2 years. Well, not as of the date of recording, but it'll be like 2 or 3 days after this comes out.
Okay.
It'll be 2 years of doing the podcast.
Makes sense. 52, so.
Yeah. 2 years. I mean, we missed a week once, but then we made up for it, and then...
Yeah. Whatever.
But yeah, we're right at 2 years here. So I did not expect us to do this long, I guess. I hoped we would, but I just expected when we first recorded us to never record again.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, just because we were you on that? No, that was me, Pants, Table, and Hank.
I wasn't on that
the first episode of our original anime podcast several years ago that never saw the light of, or no, it did see the light of day, but we never did another one. Which that was, I was assuming have you on for the next one, but just sort of a...
Didn't you also do that Fate one? Or is that something?
Yeah, that was different.
It was cooler.
It had more views. It was on somebody else's channel.
Yeah, that's what I remember.
And we never finished it. But that was me, Hank, Palco, and then once or twice Joe. We talked about Garden of Sinners, and we talked about Unlimited Blade Works, I think. But
yeah, I remember the Blade Works.
Yeah, I don't think we finished either of those. Maybe we did.
I think you did the first half, or the first season in Quotes of Fate.
Yeah, the first half of Unlimited Blade Works, maybe. So,
but today we're talking the Deer King.
Yeah, Deer King, and maybe at the end of this.
Oh, okay. We'll see where we are.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, we're watching the Deer King. Do you want to know why we're watching the Deer King?
Well, I think the reason is you gave it to me for Christmas.
Yep, that's it.
Now, I don't know the reason why you gave it to me for Christmas.
Oh, it's because I had, gifts for you. I'm like, I should probably get you, one more thing. I saw this at Walmart. I'm like, this sounds interesting.
Okay.
So I just grabbed it.
Yeah. I mean, it came out last year. It was on the Crunchyroll Awards for, Best Movie of the Year or whatnot. I don't know if it won.
No,
the Crunchyroll Awards still going on. I didn't know most of the candidates.
No, if I were to guess, that Demon Slayer movie won.
There's another Demon Slayer movie that came out? Or is that...
That was last year.
That was? I thought that was 2 years ago that came out.
Or
maybe it came out in America this year?
I mean, I have to look it up, but then I'd have to look.
Yeah, then we'd have to look. I'm not doing that.
Then you'd have to... I always forget the word.
I'd have to fill time.
Yeah.
I'd have to... Oh,
Pad?
God. Filibuster.
Well, it's kind of...
Stall.
There's still another word for it. Vamp.
Vamp's the word you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
I could do that. But let's not. So I guess just spoiler free. What are you rating this one?
It's like a 7. It's good, not great.
I feel like they didn't stick the landing.
Okay.
There are some really, really cool scenes in it.
There's some really good parts, but it fades at the end, and there's some boring bits.
Yeah, it's a little atmospheric, but not. It doesn't quite go as far into the atmosphere as I would like. It doesn't quite go as far into the explain. There's magic or whatever that's happening, but also
they just never explain
science. And then it's it's okay if you don't explain it, but you didn't go far enough, and you're just sort of well, the disease is real. The disease is not magic.
But the way they get it is kind of...
Yeah, it's the fact that there's somebody who can control wolves and maybe also deer.
Yeah.
It's just well, that's... And whatever the hell was happening with that dude's arm, it's just that's all magic.
It's just...
It's just am I supposed to just be nah, this is magic and or surreal, just go with it?
Yeah.
Or am I supposed to try to figure out what's happening? And they're trying to have both.
Yeah.
And it doesn't quite feel right.
No, which I think we might get into a little bit as we do plot. But yeah, there's just certain points to the story where you're just like, either this feels unnecessary, it doesn't feel fleshed out. There's issues with it, basically.
Yeah. So here's another spoiler-free question.
Mm-hmm.
Would you watch this movie again, say like 5 years from now?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you watch this movie again a year from now?
Probably not. I mean, I'd be down probably. It's just, I wouldn't be like, let's watch The Deer King again.
Yeah, it's not like
It'd
a
be
movie
more
where
like-
it's just like, man. Like recently, for example, I've been really wanting to rewatch Redline.
Okay.
It's like, it's been a long time since I've seen that movie. Some people have shared some GIFs on Reddit.
I think I've watched that movie. I can't remember though.
And it's just like, I should really rewatch that movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think I'd ever feel that way about Deer King. I might be like, oh, hey, these people are watching Deer King, I'll watch it. Or, yeah, I just don't know.
Might be like with friends and we're like, we should watch an anime movie or something. It's like,
Yeah.
you guys seen Deer King? No?
Well, here's
Okay.
the thing. Would you go and be like, the friend of the show, Dylan Rowe, you should watch Deer King?
It wouldn't be my first choice, but if he's wanting like a long list of things he haven't seen, this would probably be on the list.
Okay.
But it's like,
Well, recently...
you're not going to offer this one if you're like, somebody's trying to get an anime, they want to know like the best anime movies. You don't start with the Deer King.
Yeah.
You start with the superior film that
Yeah.
this reminded me
or
of.
more accurately to my plight here. Recently, another friend of the show, not one who's been on, texted me like, well, what are some anime movies I should watch? And I'm like, I feel like you've seen all the ones. I don't watch a lot of anime movies per se, other than ones that I know you've seen. Like, here's my top 10 list. And he's like, yeah, this is a great top 10 list. I've seen them all. It's like, yeah, I know. Maybe Ride Your Wave. Have you seen that? That was good.
Mm-hmm.
But would I recommend this? I think in the end, I just said, like, it was interesting. There are things I liked and things I didn't like.
Mm-hmm. This movie gave me a vibe of a different movie. I don't know if I want to say this in spoilers or not.
I mean, we can go out of non-spoil. I would also give it a 7 out of 10 if I didn't already say that.
This gave me huge Princess Mononoke vibes.
Yes. Well, the art sort of the character design, I should say, lends itself to that.
Yeah, because the main dude looks exactly like the main character in Princess Mononoke. Like,
no,
if he grew up.
Okay. Yeah, he looks like a 40-year-old Ashitaka. I'm like, he does not look. He's an old man.
Yeah,
middle-aged man, I should say.
It's him if he grew up.
Yeah,
big.
If he got big.
If he got big.
I feel like Ashitaka wouldn't grow. He wouldn't have that build when he grows up. Mm-hmm. But he dresses similarly, and if his build were to become a big boy, that would be it.
But it makes sense that this looks like Princess Mononoke though, because of the director.
Yeah, so you did some research here.
There's not much research, but the main director, I think there's technically two, but I think this guy gets the main credit, is Masashi Ando.
Yeah.
He basically worked for Studio Ghibli a bunch of years.
That's what I thought. I thought he was an animator.
He worked on just almost every single Studio Ghibli movie from 1991 to 2001. Porco Rosso, Pom-Poko, Whisper of the Heart.
Yeah.
And Princess Mononoke.
You can definitely tell the Princess
He also worked with Kon, Satoshi Kon.
Yeah. What do you work with Satoshi Kon on?
He was animation director for Tokyo Godfathers.
Okay.
He did character design, animation director for Paprika.
Okay.
He's also wrote the screenplay for when Marnie was there.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, go back.
That's his only screenwriting credit, which is weird because I love that screenplay. That's a great.
I love that movie. Yeah. I mean, I can definitely feel so. Like those other works you mentioned don't look like Princess Mononoke at all. But with this story and its sort of
setting, I think
it definitely lends itself to let's lean into the Princess Mononoke.
Guy gets bit by a demon. He has powers now.
Yeah. It's like okay.
It shifts after that, but it's like okay.
He rides a deer-like creature. Where have I seen this before?
Yeah. Obviously, it differs.
He has a bow. Yeah. I mean, the story is pretty different, but it's just...
yeah, he's just animation director for bunch of famous movies, so it's like,
but not like a director for
director.
Which I thought this was his debut.
This is his first, so that's basically all I have on it.
Yeah, I mean, that can kind of go into the stuff I really liked. Is there's some really cool fight scenes, just like
in this one.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking specifically the mercenary versus him, when like after she's shot him and he's just like lost a lot of blood, but he's still like knife to knife fighting. I really like that scene. I was thinking back, like that's a scene I'd want to watch that one again.
I was thinking there's not enough action in this.
Yeah, it's pretty action light, but I really liked that scene and how simple it was. Like it's just like, yeah, she's trying to stab him and he just like barely deflects it, or like
I like the stilt walkers.
The stilt walker scene was cool.
That was cool.
It's just like,
are those technically action or just the concept of stilt walkers?
Stilt walkers are.
You
want to become a stilt walker?
No, it's too high. I'm afraid of heights.
I'm cautious with heights.
I guess.
I definitely would have said I was afraid of heights, but I sort of conquered that. I'm still cautious. And I don't like when I'm really high up and whatever I'm on is swaying. That's a little disconcerting. Yeah. Anyway, enough about the fear of heights. It was simple. It wasn't like, super beautiful fake fight scenes or anything. But it's just like, oh yeah, it's not sort of The Stranger, which has...
I guess I don't have the problem with like the animation of the fight scenes. I just wish there were more of them.
Yeah. Because if they went on a little bit longer, or...
Because as like we get to the plot, it's just basically... We get a little bit of info dump on like the setting and where we're at. And then you get his like escape from prison. And then it's like half hour of flashbacks... Or not flashbacks, but like half hour of him in that village. And there's just politics. And you're just like, nothing's really happening here.
Yeah, I guess.
And like some of it's fine, but others just like, there's nothing happening here. It's just stuff.
Which I'm fine with things not happening.
I guess.
It's just, again, it's just like you can't have both sometimes, Pick one or the other.
And I guess if like the story was maybe better, it'd be okay. But it's just kind of...
Yeah, it's kind of whatever.
It's like I read a couple of reasons. It's just there's like the gripes of it was like kind of predictable and kind of boring.
Yeah,
which it's like I don't maybe not see the predictable stuff because it's like fantasy. You never know what's going to happen, but you're also kind of like, yeah, of course.
You're just not as familiar with fantasy. It's just like, yeah, he's gonna. I don't know. I feel like I wasn't surprised by anything. Like even when. I mean, we're full into spoilers here. Even when towards the end, when like the Dog King, like is trying to force his will upon the main dude, whose name is what again?
It's Van.
Yeah. It's just like, okay, yeah, he's gonna snap out of it, and then when he snaps out of it, like maybe for half a second, I was like, oh yeah, the kid has that connection too, and it's just like she's not gonna know, she's not gonna have that powerful sense of self that an adult would have.
I thought we were gonna wait for the sirens.
No, it's all right.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
gives us mystique, ambiance.
Okay.
Yeah, we live near a hospital.
Anyways, you're saying about the connection.
Yeah, I was basically like, maybe that scene feels like it's supposed to really be like, oh no, and it's just like, yeah, okay. It's not.
Oh, again, we're like skipping away like to the end, but it's just like my issue is just like you had this like big moment where he like denies the connection or whatever. It's like, no, I'm not going to do this, and then the guy's just like, oh, F you, I'm just going to take over the girl's body. It's like, why?
Yeah, and then
why are we doing this?
Then the resolution was the guy is like,
fine,
okay, I'll take over the connection, but it's just like you could have like. I also feel like the Dog King, like I'm like, am I supposed to think of this guy as a helpful guide or a treacherous person? And I guess the idea was he was sort of both, and that's what concerned him. Because I think he even said that at one point. It's like his voice is comforting, and that's what scares me.
Mm.
It's just like, is the Dog King supposed to be like this all-knowing, connected to, not all-knowing, but this like in tune with nature,
Sure, like deity protector type of thing.
Yeah. In which case, he can't also be like a warmongering racist.
Yeah.
Like, race is not quite the right term, but maybe it
they're
applies.
racist. They're just protecting.
Nationalist.
Yeah, they're just protecting their land.
It's just like, whereas like I feel like the idea was, people are people. That's what the whole like village that Van was staying with. It's just like, some of us are, married to the other people, and some of us are from this culture, and we're just sort of this blended. We're all just one family. In this village,
now, the two nations are kind of blended, and there's nothing wrong. But then later, you see there's other parts where there's still fighting between the two, and there's still political.
Yeah, there's still political. Like we want to. Yeah, we'll bow to you, but but really, we want to get the emperor sick with wolf disease.
Yeah, wolf disease, black wolf fever.
Yeah, so it's just like I feel like the Dog King can't both just be like, open yourself to the oneness of nature, become one with the animals, and be the spiritual guide, but also wreak vengeance on these people and break the peace. Like, no, I mean, I could understand.
Yeah, it's like he should be like.
He should be
almost
more
like a mediator to peace. Instead, he's just
instead of being on one side.
Yeah.
And like I feel like that's sort of what Van is at the end, where it's just like, I'm just gonna take the wolves and fuck off into the wilderness.
There's that thing where it's like, it's not necessarily like based on just hating the Zolians, who's one of them. It's more protecting their land, and like these are the only wolves left of this village, so they're just protecting themselves.
But I don't think they were protected, because those wolves went way. They were hired. They were hired by the king and his right-hand man to go like spread the disease. So it's just like, but you can't have it both ways, Dog King.
But they were trying to do that to like scare the emperor away. But like that dude's been on a plane for 20 years.
Yeah, I guess I didn't understand. He's like, the emperor's eyes visit. We gotta stop it. It's like he's just like visiting.
Yeah.
Like, well, you guys are technically occupied territory.
They called it a visit, but it seemed like they were going to invade that village.
Well, it feels like they were going to invade that village as a response, a retaliation of them being attacked by the wolves, and like, it feels like they were. I'm sure they were prepared, and who knows what they would have done when they actually happened. But it's just like, this mission is theoretically just a peaceful visit.
Yeah. But why does he need a castle?
Yeah, I don't know. That was like, how do they transport that building? Was that? Because I don't think that building was there to begin with.
Oh, no,
I think it moved.
They were pushing it. You could. Yeah. There's a couple shots where you can see people pushing the castle.
Why? Well,
it wasn't a castle. It was just like almost
a tower,
like a rook.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But it's just like,
is this necessary?
Why is this happening? Why are we putting up all these balloons? Like, the balloons were... anytime they cut to the balloons, or we'd see a balloon go up, it's like, why is this ominous? I don't quite understand. Maybe I missed something in the opening prologue.
Do they need this many balloons? Can't you just have, like...
99 red balloons?
Yeah, do you really need 99 red balloons? I think, like, maybe 10 would work fine.
It wasn't like they were, like... Those balloons weren't the blimp he was in, because he was in like a blimp.
They were just like markers, I guess.
Yeah,
as a way to like know where you're going, but it's like they're like 2 feet apart. What are we doing here?
Yeah, I don't know what is happening. I think so. Maybe I missed something.
Maybe we're like nitpicking this, but it's like, I don't know.
It's the little nitpicks they add up sometimes. Mm-hmm.
Do you want to start from the beginning?
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I don't know. I wanted to. We had a conversation going. We had some things we wanted to say. I feel like we've said that. You can give a brief summary of the plot. Maybe some other things will jingle free.
Okay, so we start out again. There's a little bit of like a opening crawl info dump. Basically, we have two nations. We have the Zolians and the Aquaface.
Aquafazi. It was like
Aquafazi, yeah. They're
well,
from Aquafa.
Yeah, but it was like Aquafaese.
Yeah, Aquafazi.
So I don't know.
But yep, there's two nations, whatever. They go to war. They fought for decades. During the war,
the last village never fell. The Fire Horse Village.
Yes, never fell. But like peace talks happened, and Zolians basically won.
Yeah, because the king or whatever swear fealty to them or something.
But anyways, we cut to a salt mine / like prison. We meet Van. He's our main character. He's a prisoner at the salt mine.
Or a slave or something.
/ slave. He was a what do we call him?
Aquafazi.
He was a part of this very like prestigious order of the...
They were called the Lone Antlers.
The Lone Antlers. Who were like the best soldiers.
Or were they the Broken Antlers and he's the lone Broken Antler?
Something like that. Anyways, he was this huge soldier.
They rode deers.
Yeah.
Things. What were those deer called?
Pioika?
Pioka?
Pyuika.
Pioka.
Yeah.
Which people are just like, I don't know how the fuck they breed. Like, I'm trying to raise them, but like,
because like
I can't get them to have sex with the female. And it's like, well, this female's already pregnant. It's like,
yes,
surprise me. Nobody knows how these deer have sex.
Yeah, but these Lone Antlers, again, great warriors. He's the last of his kind because they all died, and they were known for riding these deer-like creatures. I'm just going to call them deer.
Yeah.
This Pioika is too hard to say.
Anyway, we get a quick scene of like the current emperor's second son was like he was in battle and like he saw on the other side and he saw our boy Van like kicking ass.
River, kicking ass, taking names.
And he's like, yeah, he didn't attack me because he knew I was a child. Like, but he's got mad respect for him.
Mm-hmm. But yep, he's in the salt mine prison. He like protects one of his other prisoners who fell and whatever, about to be punished. Yeah. So he gets chained up and put in a cell. And then as this happens, the salt mine is attacked by these purple fog dogs.
That's another thing. I didn't know, was the fog supposed to be metaphorical? And it's just like, it's like the wolves are like a plague cloud spreading throughout the land, or was that physically there? I
think it's physically a cloud,
because it got pierced by like an arrow though too. Like as soon as like somebody shot an arrow through it, it just like split down the seams.
Oh, it did?
Yeah, that was Mercenary versus Van when she shot him. It's just like, well, that just caused it to like disappear. Just that arrow shooting through it. So I don't know if it was supposed to be taken literally or metaphorically. Nobody ever brings up like there's the purple cloud. They're just like the fucking
dogs are here. the dogs.
So like that's another thing where I'm like, is that?
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm supposed to like believe there.
The wolves attack, basically kills everybody, and
anybody they bite gets this disease except for
people from Aquafa.
Yes.
People from Aquafa tend to be immune to this disease.
Which there are two people from Aquafa in the mines. There is Van, and then there's a little girl that...
Okay. So she was from Aquafa? Yeah, because they said she was an orphan.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I have theory. I mean, we can go into spoilers. I'm fairly for sure the mercenary is her mom.
Oh, really?
Well, because when he said the name, Yuna, that's when she's like hesitated in attacking him. Like she knew he was going after a lost person.
Okay.
But when he said Yuna, that's not like it's a little girl. That didn't stop her. It's like Yuna, that stopped her.
Okay.
And then she said something about like that child. She's the one who said, you know, that child was an orphan given to a mad lady. So it's like, well, how did you know that?
Gotcha.
She like when she was investigating the same mercenary. Maybe I should say tracker.
Yeah.
whenever she was investigating the salt mine after the fact, she I don't know, she might also have some sort of power where she can see stuff that happened in the past. Or if that's just like trying to visualize her tracking skill. It's another thing that's just unexplained. Like,
okay, I think I know what you're talking about now. I think that's more of just like
she's just like recreating.
It's like
the
in
scene.
Psych when they're showing what like Sean sees, and they're like, it's like just showing.
It's like that.
Yeah.
But it's just like, okay, how would she know that unless she was like involved? Why does she all of a sudden stop when she hears the name? So I'm like, I think that's her mom.
Okay, that makes sense, I guess. Anyways, yeah. So 2 people survive. Everybody else is dead. Van and this girl who's named Yuna.
Or her name is Yuna. It's something.
Yuna is what they say, but they keep calling her Yuna.
Mm-hmm.
They escape / leave, and they eventually end up at this it's not really is it a village?
It's like a settlement.
It's more like a settlement.
It's like 6 families maybe.
And so they end up there. The settlement are trying to tame these deer creatures.
Yeah.
Because the Zolians want them because they've seen them in action. They're like, we could use those.
Yeah.
But they have no idea how to do it. Yeah.
In fact, Van finds like an escaped one and is riding it.
Yeah.
When like some guy whose cart toppled over and has a broken leg is just like, hey, you're riding my deer. He's like, okay, well, I'll help you out. Yeah. And then he's like, you should stay with us or whatever. And then he's like, okay, well, because you know so much about them. He's always like, well, yeah, that one's pregnant already. And he goes and finds like some 3-leaf clovers in the forest and
sashimi,
mashes them into like a paste that he then mixes with water and then dips the rope in. It's like, they'll stay in this fence because of the smell of this. They'll detract them from moving away. Mm-hmm. And like also they feed on it sometimes and you can milk them. And the Zolians are like, don't drink beast milk, you'll turn into a beast.
Tastes like shit.
The other people don't like the taste of it. Turns out that's why the Aquifer
alert
don't get infected with the disease because there's antibodies from that plant, and they grew up drinking the milk from the.
I had it as a note. I guess I wrote, "Milk is the cure." Never mind, it's the ashimi. It's the plant.
Yeah, but
that's in the milk, basically.
Yeah, it's in the.
But I'm like, milk is the cure? Really? That's what they're going with? I respect. Oh, never mind. Forget the stupid idea.
Milk is still the cure. It's just you can get the cure other ways.
Yeah.
Maybe it being diluted in the milk is the optimal cure, because then it's got some other chemical things breaking it down in there.
Also good in calcium.
Yeah, also good for your bones.
Build your bones.
You can't drink beast milk.
That's why Van is so big. He drinks milk.
Let that be a lesson to everybody at home.
Drink your milk.
Or
unless you're lactose intolerant. Yeah. Drink almond milk or something. I don't know. Anyways, while that happened, we get introduced to this Zolian doctor, some prodigy, big shot doctor.
Yeah, he saved the Emperor's second wife or something.
Yeah. But he's trying to figure out this disease, trying to find a cure for it. Stuff happens. They figure out that Van, there was one person who escaped and they're tasked of trying to find him.
Yeah. We should note the doctor is from a third country. So he's
is he?
Yeah. Okay. He's not Zolian.
That makes sense.
So he's sort of like a mediator too. Yeah. He's just like,
he's not.
I'm fighting this disease like a warrior fighting a battle, or a general fighting a battle, or whatnot. It's just like I'm
just here to cure.
Your petty wars are gonna stop me from being able to find a cure. Like, so he's not like driven by hatred for one side or the other.
So that happens. We go back to the village. They're doing stuff. Van's training these deer.
Training the people
how to do it.
Yeah.
Getting closer with Yuna.
He promises to make Yuna a deer whistle when she can't whistle with her fingers.
He has some weird visions with the power that he got from the bite.
Yeah. Which I like those scenes too. It's just like, I feel like
it's just like, wait, what is this?
I feel like the movie would have made more sense if instead of the Dog King being the one like talking to him in his visions, there was just some other entity, some other force that was speaking to him.
The Deer King.
Yeah, instead of the Dog King. If there was
who is the Deer King? Is he the Deer King?
I think Van is implied to be the Deer King at the end of it.
/ Dog King?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
like,
it's more like a connection to all things and not necessarily just a connection to the wolves.
Because like at the very beginning, you see like the deer that you say that he like found and retamed. It says the Deer King. It's like,
but we know it's not talking about the specific deer because
it's just a normal deer.
Well, it's not a normal deer, but it's a female deer. First of all, they didn't say the deer queen, and I guess they could also mean that the puka, that like species, is considered like, well, that's the best type of deer. That's the king of all deers. The puka, the whole species is. Maybe that's what they mean. I'm assuming Van is the Deer King at the end of the movie.
Okay,
because he's riding. He basically has the power of the Dog King, but he rides around with the wolves on a deer. And maybe
that shot he wasn't in it. It was just the deer in the shot. He wasn't in it.
Oh, I'm talking about before that very last shot when he goes away to the woods.
Yeah.
But like, I just feel like, okay, if the power itself was just like, hey, look at the life all around you. Mm-hmm. And then the Dog King was just also accessing that power, but has kind of twisted it and corrupted it. I feel like the movie would have worked better.
You wanted like one like good side of this power and like a bad side of the power,
or even just the power is not good or bad; it's just a thing.
Okay. And
the multiple people have access to it, and you could turn it.
Like
you could use it. You could use it. Good or bad. Well, let's go back to Princess Mononoke just a bit.
Okay.
So we have like the spirit of the forest that turns into the Night Walker at the end, or when it turns into night, or I can't remember the exact name, but it's just like two sides of the same coin. Yeah. Life and death. Mm-hmm. It's not good or evil. But it can be abused by man.
Gotcha.
So, it's like, okay, if we had him being like communing with nature and being like, okay, maybe this power or whatever that I'm scared of is not a bad thing. It's a good thing. But then you have the Dog King being like, no, this power is, I'm abusing it. I'm corrupting it. I'm twisting it into something vile when
maybe not even
I've lost sight of the purpose.
I need this power to like protect this village or
I just feel like it could have been done better if there was something in his visions besides just the Dog King trying to be like, embrace it. Because embracing it is the right answer. It's just a matter of like,
not
the Dog King wants him to basically continue on this malevolent spirit. And I mean, if I'm being honest, possibly the current Dog King is just, not himself. Well, I was going to say not himself, but just gave into the malevolent spirit side. Like,
I got you.
It's just like, hey, that's not that person. It's just the continued spirit of whoever corrupted it thousands of years ago or something. I don't know. But he's like, no, this power shouldn't be used this way. It should be used as, just what it is.
Happens at the end where it's just kind of wandering, I guess. Just
and that's the other thing. It's like, what is he doing with it? He's just sort of like taking the wolves away and having them not attack people.
Just chilling in the mountains, I guess.
Or like all around, or I don't know. Anyways. It's like, I feel like he could have been one with nature anywhere. So why did he have to leave Yuna? Like, I don't know. That was also like, but I want him and Tracker and Yuna to all, hang out together.
I'd ship Van and the Tracker.
I do ship those two. Let's go into it right now. All aboard!
All right. That's a quick version.
Choo choo.
I thought it was a boat.
It is a boat, but we did it as a train once for Rare Wars. Yeah. And now I just have choo choo in my head whenever I think all aboard, because it's definitely more of a train thing than a ship thing.
So Van and the Tracker. Her name is Say.
Say.
Yeah,
And it's S-A-E?
S-A-E.
Yeah. I thought that's what it
I
was.
say it like once. Though,
but I didn't want to say it and be wrong.
Yeah, those are two of the ship of the show.
That one dude and his wife. The guy with the broken leg.
Okay.
And his Soviet
I
wife.
ship the doctor and his like soldier companion.
Yeah, they were cute together.
Yeah. 'Cause that guy, the doctor's gay.
Is he?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I feel like you're just attributing long hair prejudices.
Nah, I have long hair.
Yeah.
I'm not gay.
So, all right, you keep telling yourself that. No, I don't know. I don't think we get any. I don't think we get any.
That doctor had a crush on Van. I know it.
Okay, well, I think everybody has a crush on Van. Have you seen him?
Yeah, then he shaved.
Even still.
Nah.
Even still.
He needed the beard.
The beard helped. Don't get me wrong.
It added. It's like a pecan.
It adds 5 comedy points to anybody who gets that reference.
Okay. Anyways, back on the plot. Van is in the village. While this is happening, we cut back to like the Zolian Empire. They're talking about the disease, trying to figure out what to do. Because the salt mine, there was another attack too that they didn't show.
Yeah, they showed some of the aftermath. They're just like, yeah, they just burned all the bodies in that town.
Yeah. But also the second emperor's son, the first son is also just got the disease.
Yeah, oh yeah, he had it from something.
Yeah.
They were staving it off, but they're just like, I could give you a blood transfusion, and he's like, no inferior blood. It would taint my soul. Instead of the doctor, it's just like these backwards ass priest doctors that are more concerned with your immortal soul than your physical body, instead of being like, hey, this is a disease.
We
your
can
immortal
treat this.
Treating this doesn't go against somebody's immortal soul. Trying to preserve life doesn't.
Yeah, whatever. Anyways, that happens. We also learn that the emperor is going to be visiting for some reason.
Yeah.
Don't know why. Just because he's going to travel for like 3 years to visit. It's like, what's taking so long?
Is that 3 years?
I don't know.
I
just feel like there was a line that says, yeah, he's already on the way. It's been like 3 years. They don't want to turn back. Something like that.
But that was the thing. They're like, the Emperor's eyes visit resume. And I'm like, they stopped? What? I don't know. Yeah, the timeline is hard to track, too. Like, how long is Van and Yuna in that village? It seems like she's slightly bigger and older.
Well, it feels like they were there through, like, the winter, I think.
Yeah, maybe.
So it's like at least a couple, like,
yeah, I guess
months.
Kids. Well, she was like talking and stuff, but I guess kids grow quite a bit too, just a couple months when they're that age. So I don't know. It's just like it was hard to keep track of the timeline.
Mm-hmm.
How has he been with them for a couple of years? That guy's leg is still broken at one point, so it couldn't have been too long.
And it wasn't years. I think it was months.
Yeah, but enough for him to shave.
Anyways, so then that happens. At some point, that tracker finds Van, and then they basically ambush him at this village.
Yeah.
The dogs come. They steal Yuna, and Van goes after them. He gets away from the soldiers.
There's a scene where one of the wolves recognizes the Zolian wife, and it's like, Zolian, I'm going to bite them. And then Yuna extends some sort of aura to him, and the dog's like, oh, I guess not.
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay. So the dog, like, I guess that was our first inclination that...
Remember when Van broke that? Like...
boar's
prison?
Bones? or...
Oh, I guess the boar's, but I was thinking, like, the very first time where he, like, just breaks the prison...
Yeah,
wall,
uses the power to, like, just... I don't
shatter that post. It's like, oh, dude, this is awesome.
And then
just like Princess Mononoke.
A little bit, yeah.
Then he totally body checks that boar.
Yeah.
Turns his insides into pudding.
That's his bones and pudding. What is that from? You say it all the time.
That's one of Demo's videos.
Okay.
Let's check out what's happening on Facebook. His bones are pudding.
let's get away from there.
Yeah. Anyways. But yeah. Yuna's taken by the Dog King. Oh, I didn't write his name down. It's like...
Who cares? He's the Dog King.
Starts with the K, anyways. The Dog King. Whatever.
Also, like, I don't know, there's like the chief of Firehorse Village is sort of like a...
He kind of runs the show.
Yeah. But he doesn't have control. He tried to become a successor, but he couldn't.
Mm-hmm. Anyways. That happens.
Yep, that happens. They're at this point, Van is like, I gotta go after Yuna. Tracker's like, I gotta kill Van because he would potentially reveal something. Like the king is hired by the king, and the king's right hand man. And then
I guess we
potentially
forgot that.
the
we forgot about that part.
The doctor wanting to, we gotta stop the doctor from running into that dude because then he might find a cure
for this disease that we're trying to spread to like weaken the Zolian army.
So we need to take
back our land.
Even though that's one if one Aquifa dies, it's a sacrifice we're willing to make.
Yeah.
So she's like, okay, I am radicalized for my country.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to
kill this guy.
And then she only stops when she hears the name.
Okay.
And the doctor's like also pleading, like, please stop this.
I need your blood.
And like the doctor again acting sort of like a mediator. I feel like him acting like a mediator wasn't enough to actually stop her. Like, why didn't she just kill him when the doctor was sleeping? Like, there's no way she couldn't also kill the doctor. Like, there's no. So there's some other reason why she decides to start helping them.
Gotcha. I thought it was because she was attracted to him.
Well, little column A, little column B.
Gotcha.
Porque los dos.
Anyways. Yeah, so the doctor, the tracker, and Van go on a journey to find Yuna.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So they track, blah, 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 things happen. There's that scene where, like, they go to this village where, like, the Aquifas people, like, kill all the Zolians in the village.
And, like, there's an old man or it might have been another, like, disease attack village or something.
Maybe.
But they're just, like, there's an old man and a kid, and the kid's like, when can I see my mom again? It's like,
so he's Zolian, because you can tell with the eye, like, tattoo that he has on his forehead. It's like, damn.
Yeah, I assume that kid was a mixed
maybe
blood there, but it's just like, there are people that there are people living in the edges. Mm-hmm. The edges are blurry, man.
And there's that scene where they show like the couple, one Zolian soldier and like an Aquifa girl. They're like chasing the soldier, and like she stops them, but then they realize they're gonna kill him anyway, so they like jump and commit suicide.
Yeah, or like they try to. I don't know if they commit suicide, or if it's just implied that
they show that, and then they cut to that same stream that's like behind them, and there's like bloodied rags.
Well, I took that as they're like, we'll meet our fate together, and then they just killed both of them.
Okay.
That's how I took that scene.
I took that they jumped.
Again, could have been either. I read it differently. We really should have turned the lights on in this room before we started recording.
It'll take 2 seconds. Go ahead.
All right, vamp for me.
I'm gonna vamp. So Pluto, right?
Crazy.
I totally did that wrong.
Yeah, you did it wrong, man. You messed up.
Man, I suck at vamping. Anyways,
you can't even do your go-to conversation thing.
No.
How about that Weezer concert?
Heard worth the wait.
Okay.
And we're back.
Okay.
Which, again, I felt like this part, we didn't need it to be this long. I felt like we could have just, like, started the journey and, like, cut half of this and just be at the village. I didn't think we needed this much.
Yeah, I don't know, but then we don't get Stiltwalker's scene.
Oh, we keep the Stiltwalkers. You can't.
I'm just like saying if we're gonna be cutting out stuff, it's like that scene has almost nothing to do with anything other than like at the tracker lady she like hesitates to kill one of them because it's like, oh, it's just a young girl.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's radicalized people for the
it's like showing her like the perils of war, basically.
Yeah, it's like why are you
war
attacking
bad?
Us? Why are you attacking us? We're also Aquifans, and it's just like
they don't care.
Are you one to talk? See, you were gonna kill Van for the good of Aquafina.
So we're this is kind of just showing the Trackers, I guess, turn into her not killing Van because she knows.
Yeah, her change of heart. I think it's the
de-radicalization.
Yeah, her realizing like, oh yeah, people
suck.
Just people.
We should all be deer.
To quote Men in Black, a person is smart, people are stupid.
Something like that. Yeah. So while this is happening, there's still some more political bullshit happening. Like,
yeah, they cut back to the king and his right hand man playing chess and being like, blah 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 blah
blah blah blah blah blah.
We'll just have to kill him.
We'll have to kill him. The chief of the fire village is no longer like on our side. He's just gonna do what he wants. So let's just side with the Zolians and buy our time.
Yeah, pretend, if he's going to attack us, we'll show our loyalty and side with them, just like...
To buy time.
Not just to buy time, but to buy, see, look, we're loyal.
Yeah.
We're not plotting to betray you.
What?
Why else would we put ourselves in harm's way against our own people?
We totally love this Zolian Empire tandem thing we got going on. Look at the flag. The flag is so cool.
The flag?
Where it's like, they show the flag. It's like the Zolian. It's like, I can guess it's like 80% Zolian flag, and then they just put like a little Aquafa thing at the end. It's like, okay, we see who's in charge here.
I don't remember the flag.
You don't remember the flag?
No.
It was a pretty cool flag.
I mean, I feel like I saw a cool flag at one point, but what does it look like? I don't know.
I feel it's like...
Was it a plot
it's basically
point?
like the New Zealand flag, where they're just like, we're going to put the British flag in there just a little bit, just to show, hey, it's ours. This is ours.
Stamp.
Yeah. Boom. Dibs.
Dibs. God. Okay.
We finally get there for the Fire Village. Or Fire Horse Village.
Fire Horse Village. Which is just a breed of horse that they grow. It's related to the deer. At one point he's like, yeah, they've got puka blood in them at some point.
Gross.
And it's just like a black horse with like red hair.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's cool. But it's just like, you named your whole town Fire Horse Village because some of you guys raise horses.
Shitty Pokemon.
But you also have you're also the home of the Dog King with all the wolves. It's like, you're mashing up so many things.
Fire Horse Village sounds like a shitty Pokemon town.
Oh yeah, it sounds like.
So you gotta go to Firehouse or Fire Horse Village to get this badge. It's like, do I have to go here? These people suck. They're weird.
Well, in the opening spiel, I'm just like, yes, the kingdom of Aquafa, and of course, the village, the legendary village, Fire Horse Village. It's just like, these names are stupid.
Zolian though, not bad.
It's okay. It feels. I don't know. It feels sort of generic too, but I don't know. I got maybe nothing against this, but I got Avatar: The Last Airbender. It's I feel like Fire Horse Village would be something in Avatar Land.
Gotcha.
It's okay, so you're the Fire Horse Village
because you raise fire horses,
or
how
Naruto.
Original.
Because Naruto is they're from the village hidden in the leaves, which is in the Fire Nation. Something, or it's what? Who cares? It's such a dumb name, but whatever.
Okay,
did its job.
Anyways, Van gets there. He talks to the Dog King. The Dog King's just take over for me.
Come live in this tree forever.
It's no, thank you.
I'm out.
See ya.
And then the Dog King uses lightning to commit seppuku. And then becomes a malevolent force that then possesses Van. And Van tries to choke the doctor. And then he's like, no, I know who I am.
See, this is why I know he's gay, because he didn't tell him to stop. He's like, no, keep going.
Then I feel like there's a harmful stereotypes you're throwing out here.
No, it's fine.
Look, I'm not saying the doctor can't be gay. I'm just saying I don't think we got any inclination one way or the other.
No. He totally had a thing for Van. I can tell.
Okay. I guess it takes one to know it. No, I shouldn't say that.
Well, Van's a very attractive man. Yeah. Not my type, but...
But you have to recognize the sheer magnitude.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like...
You have to recognize...
I feel like also... The doctor could just be recognizing the sheer magnitude of that man.
I guess.
So, Either way, Doctor can be whatever he wants.
Okay.
We don't have to typecast him. We don't have to say what he is. We don't have to define him. You're like the school board trying to define the dean. You can't put it into words.
What is it? Gay doesn't even... What is it? I forget what he says. I don't know. I can't remember. I can't...
It's like it doesn't even describe the half of it.
Yeah. Gay doesn't begin to describe it or something.
Something like that.
He said something else before, though. Anyways. That was our community reference, I guess, for the episode.
I brought it up this time. That's rare for me to bring it up.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a reference for when we talk about other stuff later, but it's not community.
Okay.
Close. Parks and Rec reference.
Gotcha. Yeah, so Van gets to Firehorse Village.
Oh yeah, I'll pick up where I left
Tells
off.
the dog king to F off. I'm not doing this.
We've already said this. Let me pick it back up where I left off. Okay. Van stops choking the doctor.
Okay.
I know who I am.
Okay.
And they're like, good. You've resisted the dog king. Wait a minute. There's one other person who could potentially get it. Oh no. Yuna's looking all possessed like in one of my dreams.
So she's connected.
Yeah. She's going to go take the wolves and attack the Emperor's army that's coming up.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're like, the wolves are coming. We have to fight off the wolves. And then Van's like, I'm going to take this puka and I'm going to stop the wolf from biting the Emperor's second son. And then the Emperor's second son is like, he did it again. I'm in love.
Oh, hey, okay, come on. I can't do it, you can't do it.
Okay.
I chip that too.
I'm inspired by awe. And then there's just like, okay, I'll take over the wolves. Yuna, you go be a person. Here's a deer whistle.
That's the end.
The end credits start rolling. And then Yuna goes back to live with the village. I think, Sai with her? Sai?
Yeah.
Okay. So, like, they're living together.
Mm-hmm.
Again, another thing where it's just like, okay, does Sai, like, you know, is she the mom? Maybe she doesn't necessarily need to be.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't necessarily even need to admit that to her ever, if it is the case. But it's like, oh, she's taking responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
And then the credits roll and we see some of the people we've met along the way. And then sort of an after credit scene. We see Yuna a little bit older, maybe a couple of years at this point. And then she sees a wolf in the mountains and then sees the puka.
Mm-hmm. She
and
like blows the whistle and then she sees the...
Yeah, and then it's just like, that's the end of the movie. So...
Cool.
Yeah. So now the question is, we're at 52-ish minutes.
We won't do anything else.
Okay. We'll stop after we're done talking about
yeah.
this movie. Okay. So... Now, do we want to just put this as our next episode? I feel like we just got to do like a special catch up thing, like a 15-minute thing that we drop.
Oh, we can.
Okay. We can
talk about it later.
Yeah.
We'll decide.
I
just feel like we're good on this. We don't have to do anything else.
Yeah.
I still got a couple things to say.
Okay, go ahead.
What is it? You said there was no Michael Center Nicholas in this. Okay. You lied to me.
I said the voice cast that I read online did not include Michael Center Nicholas. I did not know that he helped direct the dub or whatever he did. Produced it or something. Produced by? Is that what he got? Did he get a producer credit?
I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. You're the one who saw the credits.
Yeah. But he does not voice anybody in the movie.
But you said that I asked.
Or he is not listed on the cast.
So there's no Michael Center Nicholas. You're like, no. There's no, or yes, there's no Michael Center Nicholas.
Just because there's a Stephanie Sheh doesn't mean there's a Michael Center Nicholas.
But there was, and you lied to me. I did not appreciate it.
I did not lie. I was wrong. There's a difference.
Okay. That was just like the main note that we haven't talked about. Good score, though. I like the music.
Yeah, music was good. Again, I like the vibe of this movie, but it wasn't quite atmospheric enough for me to just be like,
yes,
zone out and watch it again.
There's just too much story that they try to put in that just
it's like I could have used more stilt walkers. I could have used more like knife fights.
I feel like this movie could have been better if you just took out the political stuff,
or
make it more of like this. Again, kind of you're saying this evil nature versus good nature kind of thing,
or even just like balance versus evil. or
Yeah, something like that.
balance versus corruption. I don't.
Oh, the power that he got was called Inside Out, and they just never explain it.
Yeah, or he's like, you're in the inside out now, which is sort of like your body is an anchor point. You're basically you're astral projecting, sort of.
You're like connected to nature.
You can see things from the inside out. You can see how all things connect.
Yeah.
And your body is just how you are connected.
Yeah.
But you can view the whole web of it, sort of thing. And it's like that. I could use some more of that stuff. That'd be cool.
Okay.
Might not sell as well, but I'd be down. Leave me with questions that make me ponder, not questions that make me flabbergasted.
What did we just watch that I called a shitty episode of Sonny Boy?
I don't know, was it this movie?
No. What was it? I'm sorry, I just forgot what we watched.
The Beach?
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Sorry.
To be fair, we watched 3 movies yesterday.
One of them was The Beach. And at some point...
One of them was The Deer King. And one of them was Men in Black.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if I had to rank those 3 movies, I'd go Men in Black, Deer King, The Beach.
Yes.
I don't know. There were parts about The Beach where I'm just like, it's kind of doing it for me.
Nah.
It's just like Leo just going crazy. It's like, okay. I like Daffy. You didn't understand a single word he said.
I understood a word he said. You got anything else?
No, I didn't have any notes for this movie. I had an internal note of I do that I like the fight between Van and Sei. So
yeah. The disease was called Mitsuo. I don't think we ever mentioned it.
No, we called it Black Wolf Fever.
That's what they called it at the beginning, but then they started calling it Mitsuo.
Yeah, it's scientific name.
Oh yeah, I guess they found a cure for it. It's a mix of Van's blood / that milk.
Yeah, there's antibodies that you can get from consuming the
Ashimi.
The 3-leaf clover.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that was the Deer King.
Yeah. I would say watch it.
Yeah. It's fine. It's solid.
Yeah, I wouldn't pay a bunch of money to go watch it, but you're like, oh, it's streaming somewhere. I'd watch that.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think
I'm gonna borrow my Blu-ray, and you know me personally, you can do that.
Oh, okay.
Of our 4 listeners.
I thought you were asking me to borrow your Blu-ray. I'm like, what?
You have free reigns to borrow my Blu-ray.
I bought it for you.
I know. Especially the ones that you gave me.
I gave it to you.
She gave me this.
She
drove me here.
What's your Parks and Rec reference? You never made it.
It's not for this. It's for...
okay.
We could just say... I don't know why we're being so quiet. We're just going to do a mid-season catch-up for all the shows we're watching. So okay. I want to make a Parks... there's a quote from Parks and Rec. I had to Google it before we started recording to see what is the exact quote and who says it, and is it from Parks and Rec or is it from Community or something else? And it's okay, it's from Parks and Rec. That makes sense. I remember that now.
Okay. Well, that's this episode. Thanks for listening. You can follow us on Twitter at anime_territory. Find us on basically any podcast platform, and on YouTube at Anime Territory. Our channel is the one with the cityscape.
Yep.
You got anything else?
No, other than to say you're now leaving the anime territory.
Goodbye.